Alright, YouTube viewers, Empire War Remake fans, Star Wars fans, and the like. I got some sleep a little bit. I slept like an extra hour and a half. Yeah, so basically I really didn't get any sleep at all, and I'm actually really still tired. But I'm nowhere near as loopy as I was earlier. Like earlier, my brain literally couldn't function. But what's good, YouTube? Jay here. We are attacking Taurus because the rebellion has made it as far as Taurus, and their naval forces are actually built up pretty nicely. We are playing on the coastal difficulty still, which is the easy one because I have yet to actually test out the other difficulties, which increase overall damage and health of enemy units in addition to some money shenanigans. And frankly, this is mostly meant to be a showcase kind of deal. So if you really truly want to watch that, if you truly want to play that higher tier difficulty, you're just straight gonna have to wait till the mod actually drops. Let's keep our fighters up ahead, and let's get things done. Let's maintain our distance also.
Gladiator cruiser reporting.
Gladiator cruisers can go forward. Starfighter groups, which are being led by Darth Vader, Mara Jade, and the like, can go up ahead. They'll be our forward guard, and they'll maintain their position in the fleet.
What do you need?
We're gonna take out those cruisers. Lots of Starfighter groups also, Rogue Squadron included. I'm at Vader. Mara. Let's see. Vader, Mara, and a couple of Tartans go forward and deal with Rogue Squadron. Everybody else,
we read you loud and clear.
You're to deal with these Trados. These quasars are not actual quasars either. These are transport class quasars. The bombers will go ahead. Wow, they've already taken out the shields of our victory right here.
Initiating assault.
Okay, Mara and group should be able to take care of these guys. Okay, they're actually lighting her up. Hold on, let's put on her strike ability really quick.
Standing by here.
Full power to all weapons.
Yes, Commander.
Let's put out these repair drones.
What are your orders?
Keep all of our units fielded and healed up.
You need us, Commander.
You got our
And then
attention.
the let's see.
Hey, cut the chatter. Commander's on the line. Sure thing.
Okay, I think we should be good for now.
Lock on
Anti-missile
to
defenses are up.
intercept.
Okay, let's go.
Following your lead.
Okay. We'll finish off these quasars, which are transporting some artillery class units.
Yes,
Bombers will just go straight ahead, do their thing. And it looks like they're handling Rogue Squadron pretty fairly, for the most part. All fighters go ahead. Let's focus all of our units down on these shield generator hardpoints. Okay. Let's have him go support Lord Vader.
Changing to intercept course. I'll deal with the scum.
What's the mission?
Shields will go down any moment.
Multiple targets.
Alright, TIE bomber groups, you can redirect all your fire. Well, take out this last shield generator. Alright, let's redirect all fire on this last quasar. We'll take out these rebel transports before they can even blink. Looks like Rogue Squadron has also been completely dealt with as well. Let's get the remainder of our fighters up ahead. And then pretty much nothing is left of this station except just structure. I think they might have one more building, maybe? Question mark?
Cruiser captain speaking.
Let's deal with the last of these starfighter units and these Naboo PT-1 gunship squadrons, which are a fairly new unit. Not even fairly, they are a new unit. We can read the description really quick. The Naboo PT-1 uses advanced slam engines, what you find on the K-Wing, that would be later used on the K-Wing. Focusing mostly on speed over every other trait, the PT-1 is poorly armed and shielded for a gunship but can easily outrun most opponents. After the Battle of Naboo made clear the need for area denial weapons, the PT-2s arm high explosive missiles to quickly wipe out large groups of lightly armored craft. The rebellion makes thankful use of these against the Empire's TIE swarms, which you can see they're firing off those crazy amounts of missiles too. Station destroyed. But it looks like they can't completely outrun the Empire either. They're very big too, so our lighter vessel shouldn't, or our gunship type vessel shouldn't have too much of an issue shooting them down.
We read you loud.
Okay.
You got our attention.
Excellent. Didn't lose a single ship in the process either. The Rebel fleet is actually pretty big. Yeah, that's a good victory, and at least in my opinion. But they've already built up planets like Dathomir, but they don't have an actual defensive fleet guarding it either. Their forces just finished focusing down on Korriban, and they've got a lot of bomber units. We are not at tech level 2 yet. We're trying to build up stations. The Mandalorians just took over Loridar, and if the rebellion hadn't pressed us like they just did, that's where our attention would pretty much be as well. We'd be focusing on the Mandalorian clans down there. Again, I think the Imperial defectors are pretty much out of unit space, or they just don't have the money to finish building everything down there. I'm not worried about the defense of Coruscant. I think we can more than likely hold off whatever they throw us down here. It's mostly just a lot of light vessels and stuff. I don't know what kind of units these guys use in space. In Enterprise Order 3, squadrons of Royal Guards can be recruited, and they have mobility to interceptors. Oh, he's only that's right. Tarkin has that disgusting ability of being unable to contemplate retreating, which is a bad thing. That's an awful thing, actually. But it is what it is. We do need more infantry units and more tanks as a whole. I don't even know if we have enough local forces to deal with the rebel forces on that planet, but we could probably muster up something. Let's see. I don't think they have enough to deal with the full might of this Imperial fleet either. To be honest, I don't even think we need all of these. How much unit space is this? This is 150 right at the gate? 177. Okay.
Report again, sir.
I think this is pretty much what I had in the battle. The rebels took Korriban, which is good. I don't know where the rest of their fleet is going to be at. Yavin 4 is only primary defensive station is the colony itself, so that shouldn't be too bad to take out. Too difficult, rather. Let's move these troops over here. They've got artillery pieces, which sucks. But these are only regular turbo laser tower defensive grids, so at the worst, we'll have to worry about just that, really.
Ready, Commander.
Which, on paper, is not a terrible thing. We've got Shambhala pretty built up, for the most part. I don't know where the bulk of the rebel fleet... Did they move over here? Because if they're leaving their corridor over here defenseless, I mean, we have the ability to move the fleet up and actually do some shenanigans.
Construction complete.
This is perfect. Okay, put an administrative building in this here, and that's pretty much all we'll need. I think those troops actually... Did I build troops? Yeah, I did. Alright. Korlag, I believe, has a perk. Doesn't it? Okay. What is this? Governor's Palace.
Construction.
Okay. And Kuwait is able to just pump out ships like crazy. Now, the reason why I specifically want Yavin so badly is they have Tabata mining facilities. The rebels are able to just... They are just dumping credits out of that planet, man. Like, crazy. This planet is no longer going... or bankrupting us, so we can focus on everything else, pretty much. And again, we don't really have too many units going into this, so maybe we'll get more reinforcements up here first. Because Taurus is nothing short of a fortress world at this point. The rebels just won a battle at Kashyyyk. Okay, so this is the bulk of their fleet, kinda. I'm gonna assume the majority of their forces are either heading towards Kessel or they're going to go reinforce the orbit of Dathomir. We took out that Hapen incursion in the previous episode, so they don't really have a lot going for them right now. The minor factions are pretty insignificant in this, and the criminal underworld just refuses to really do anything. And it looks like these guys are building up, kinda, but they don't really have a whole lot down there. The Mandalorians haven't really done much with their fleet. It stayed relatively the same size, so that's why I'm not too worried about this colony over here. I think we'd be more than capable of defending it. I don't know if this is the upgrade of this. That quickly I forgot. Okay, we're gonna wait for these reinforcements to arrive. And let's put this in order of what we want on the field. Because apparently the organization of this matters. I'd rather it be like this? Question mark? Those troops are almost there. And then we'll commit, we'll go ahead and commit an attack. I'm glad to know we don't have to actually worry about Kuwait now. Okay, so the bulk of the rebel fleet is at Kessel. They have a lot of fighters. They don't have anything major, and they can't go in the tech level 1 without us upgrading the tech level, which is good, so I'm not going to do that just yet. I don't want to give them access to their powerful Mon Calamari cruisers. Because while they already do have some pretty expensive things that we do need to build a major construction here on, I don't know if we'll be able to build anything big or not. I'm gonna queue it. Let's get these units going. I don't know if these commit to orbital bombardments. Maintenance is... Oh wait, these have a maintenance cost. Oh. Maintenance. The starship costs 375 credits per week for maintenance and upkeep. Units with a significant starfighter garrison cost less upkeep as their starfighters pay attrition costs over time. There's a lot of micromanagement to go into this, and I do think that something about these needs to probably be a little bit more obvious, and I'm pretty certain it has something to do with the tooltip that pops up right up when you start the game. But I definitely do think that should be a little bit more notable.
Yes, sir.
Now we've got some
Weapons ready.
ATPTs.
Ready, sir.
ATPT. I'm ready to send the shield generators over here, or the power generator for the turbo lasers.
Is under attack.
As they are just wiped out immediately. Okay. Tank destroyers.
Moving to that position.
I'm calling Invader because we're going to use him to scout out where the artillery shells are going to be at. I just saw them lob something. Okay, they're over here, completely isolated. Perfect. Okay. This is going to be group 1. Vader, get moving over here. Okay. Let's focus our fire on that. Yeah, they're already able to shoot at us. They didn't have a... Okay, I guess they do have a power generator.
Channel open.
Yeah, those artillery shells are going to be able to hit us from so far away. It's not even funny, dude.
Attack tank ready.
Okay.
I don't have all day, son. Attack
We're going to group all of our units over here for now. Until Vader's able to do something about these.
What are your orders?
That's a problem. Okay, he put a couple shots in. Circle back around, Vader. Try to do some more damage. We're going to have to micromanage our way around this one. Okay. I think he can do it. But the rebels do have a significant garrison here.
Ready for orders.
Let's see.
Ready for command. Standing by.
ready and able.
Trying to see what the last of these infantry units are.
What are your orders?
Okay.
Ready for orders.
Rocket troops.
Ready for command. Heading there now, sir.
Okay, we're gonna go down this way. This is gonna take some time. Actually, hell, if we can find the power generator, that'd even be better. Pretty certain it's around here somewhere. I don't even think they have a planetary shield. Which is why I don't understand how they're able to... Shield generator's around here somewhere. You fought on this map more than enough to know that.
Soldiers ready, sir. What are your orders?
Jesus.
Firing on that position.
Let's have these units traverse this area over here. Yeah, I don't understand how they're...
Ready for orders.
Yeah, we're getting picked up at ranges we can't even compete with.
On our way.
We're just gonna have to fight our way through. And pray that Vader can actually do something about these artillery shells. Okay, we'll take that out first. First one down. Second one is down.
Soldiers ready, sir.
All infantry units move forward.
What are your orders?
Ready for command, sir.
Okay. Vader's doing a decent job of keeping them preoccupied.
Soldiers
Now the real problem is going to come from the fact that we've got a lot of stuff in between us and the base. A lot of rebel forces, so we're going to be taking some losses here. Okay. Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
Let's go. Open
I don't really like this paralyzing ability. I really do not like the fact that your units could just freeze mid-combat. I'm sorry.
What are your orders?
I don't really think I'm a fan of that. Yeah, like, we're just getting crushed. With no real way to do anything about it. Come on, go. Go, 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 go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that mechanic, I don't think. It's so wildly uncontrollable. I think that's why I'm not a big fan of it.
What are your orders?
Because the way I'm looking at it so far is like, it's definitely, I still want to see it be a thing. But
Welcome aboard, soldiers.
it's so wildly uncontrollable, it's so easy for it just to kind of happen when you don't want it to. And considering that artillery shells can shoot from Narnia, which on paper I don't really have a problem with, I on paper don't really have a problem with that. Okay, let's kill these rebel forces right here. Okay, that's one down. Take out this next one. I thought I called these in.
Let's go.
Okay. Concentrate fire on that. That's a lot of troops just between us right now. Okay, the artillery is completely distracted. Although we've got mortar shells annihilating our defenses. Okay. Where's Vader at? Okay, let's attack. Let's attack this fortification here. Yeah, the artillery pieces are about to fire again. Okay, they're completely backed off. Let's move up. Let's move back a little bit. Come on, Vader. Just a little bit more.
Welcome aboard, soldiers.
Okay. You can back off one more time. Come in for one more strafing run. You should be good. There we go. Artillery shells destroyed.
Here, sir.
Okay.
Awaiting your orders, sir.
Okay, let's call in Vader over here for backup. No, Vader, actually, you need to find that power generator.
Soldiers, sir.
Okay.
Channel open.
Okay. Let's approach this bridge.
Main cannon.
I'm at your disposal. Stormtrooper ready, sir.
Okay, yeah, you assume position right here.
We will crush these rebel scouts, sir.
Okay. So the other ones are going to keep grouping in a group, I think, right now, and group 2 are going to be the rocket troopers.
On the move.
Yeah, just stay behind us for now. Okay, now Vader. Oh, there's some heavy AA right here. Okay. Power generator, right here. Yeah, we really can't do too much against that.
Awaiting your orders, sir. We'll smack them, sir.
Actually, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, because we're a little disorganized right now.
We will crush these
The rebels have got us routed a little bit.
ready for attack orders, sir.
Okay, we're gonna
Ready to commence.
Soldiers ready,
take our
sir.
infantry, keep them behind us, because them and that ability is
Awaiting orders.
royally cucking us, and I'm not even kidding when I say
Welcome
that.
aboard, soldiers.
Let's move all our tanks forward. Infantry units, you pull back over here for a hot second. Okay. Actually, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back.
Ready for orders. Moving on your mark. Ready for command.
Okay, Vader, you're gonna go hide in this corner for a hot second.
Awaiting orders.
Standing by for your command. Soldiers ready, sir. What are your orders? Ready for orders. Soldiers ready for command.
Okay, let's go.
Orders, sir.
Yes, sir.
Standing by for your command.
We will crush these rebel scouts, sir.
Soldiers ready, sir.
Okay, we're putting some serious damage into this. Okay. We'll take that out.
Weapons on.
Weapons hot on the combat speeder. With no artillery shells, I really can't do too much against this. All tanks move forward. We need to get to this landing zone. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hit that mortar shell over there. There we go. There we go, that's one down. Let's take out that artillery. Or that AA. Let's focus fire on that. Alright, mortar trooper taken out. Tanks move this way, or walkers move this way, rather. Okay, we'll hold this position. We'll secure this landing zone. We're extremely exposed right here. Okay, let's back off, back off, back off, back off, back off.
Moving to that position.
Ah, they're paralyzed. I don't like this ability. It's just so, it's so not controllable. Like, they're just sitting there in the open. Even if your commander dies, you're still probably gonna run. I'm not a fan of this mechanic. Because, like, there's already so much that's very hard to control happening, at least with this mod in particular. But then you've got your units just stopping because I'm not a big fan of that mechanic. I'm sorry.
On our way.
Because, like I said, I don't like anything that's just straight up out of our control. You know what I mean? That's just not fun to me. Like you can control it if you like micromanage just that hard, but there's a level of micromanage you can only do to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, I do my best to micromanage, and even then, I'm just sitting here like, holy smokes, dude! There's just so much happening. I definitely think, if anything, it shouldn't be as long. It's ferociously very long. Okay. We can actually start hammering these guys finally. No orbital bombardments to follow up, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, with all this shit we got going on right here, man, there's a lot. We got so many infantry brigades, tank brigades, like, what? Okay, there we go. Like, it's just so hard to keep track of everything. I don't think there really should be a mechanic that just fully paralyzes your units like that. Maybe slow them down. I'm okay with slowing down, but straight up, they're just like, I can't do anything like that. I'm not a big fan of that, unfortunately. Which again is no big deal. I just don't think it's a very healthy mechanic, considering how ferociously wild this mod can get in the blink of an eye. Okay, there's that. Let's get over here and check out this base. I'm pretty certain if I don't know if we destroy this, we win the battle. We lost a lot just because our units they just stopped working, which is literally the mechanic. Like I said, I'm all for like a debuff. I'm all for a debuff. How can you guys not see this? Let's check out the tanks over here. I'm all for a debuff. I'm fine with the debuff. Whoa. Noted, those abilities cause some serious issues with the particle, or because of their particle effects. Okay. There we go. Okay. That's just my 2 cents. I think it's definitely a very interesting mechanic. I just don't think it's really good as to what it currently is. Let's look at those walkers over there. Or those tanks, rather. Like right here, all my units are just freaking out now. I don't like that. Like it's legitimately completely out of my control. I don't like that they're just suddenly frozen in the open. I think that's not a good idea. I promise I'm not trying to be an asshole either. It's just there's so many little guys, man. It's very, very hard to keep track of how that happens. And I know how it happens because I believe it's related to the commanding officer. I think. I don't really know. I'd have to ask the devs again. But in its current situation, it throws me off. It's way too consistent. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been ranting for a minute now. I'm gonna stop. It just throws me off. Okay.
Ready to pick up soldiers, sir. I shall contact you when we arrive, sir. Com channel open.
We will crush these rebels down, sir.
I definitely think the effects should just be slow the units down, maybe. Because the guys just stopping literally dead in their tracks is... I think that's a way too bullshit of a way for your units to be killed off. You know? I gotta stop using that rocket ability. Apparently the game really does not like that ability. Let's move you guys over here. Walkers all come over here. And especially when you're fighting artillery, you know what I mean? Like you got artillery shells that are able to pretty much cross map you, and your units just go numb because their commanding officer died, which on paper makes sense, but I think it's a little too, I wouldn't say too complicated, but it's too much. I don't think we need to really have that as a thing. Debuff them, sure, but considering all that we just lost because our units stopped moving is kind of crazy, you know? Yeah, we lost everything pretty much, which is unfortunate. We didn't have that much to begin with. I don't know if I can build this here. We'll find out. But the rebels are definitely the most, damn, they're just building commanding officers here. They don't have a lot of good orbital defense, so they have a solid naval fleet presence, but they don't have really any good like orbital defenses. But I think we can safely attack Dathomir. We should be safely able to commit to this planet's assault. They've got 5 corvettes. Ooh, scary. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the mechanic. I'm sorry for ranting about that for legitimately like 20 minutes. It was just throwing me off, man. All my infantry just freezing. It like, and the tanks freezing too. In a game where artillery and shit, you like if you straight up just because the rebels spawn with some of that stuff, I'm pretty certain. Or maybe we just haven't put our efforts into building facilities, which is probably the case, but still feels a little too a little too bullshit.
We will be there shortly, Commander.
I already can genuinely mentally see a lot of people not being a fan of that mechanic.
We're awaiting your command. Instructions.
I think it should stay. Just needs adjustment. Because it's not fun to have your units literally, completely and utterly just not be able to do anything with them for no reason. When the commanding officers themselves are just so tiny, so small. There's gonna be a decently hard battle though. These stations are not to be trifled with. It is a tier 3 after all. Our ability to win this is debatable. I think we should have no problems though. Okay. Victory cruiser should move forward a little bit more.
Good day, Commander.
Okay. Minor construction yards now have weapons. Good to know. Let's put our starfighters ahead. That's a lot of hard points. By the force.
Concentrating firepower.
Okay, turn around. You're a little too out there.
Take us out.
Shoot the rebel starfighters that are coming in. That's one down. Yeah, this is a little scuffed potentially.
Enemy in range.
We've lost our shield generator.
You lost a lot more than the shield generator, buddy. Okay, quickly, concentrate fire on the station. Let's start concentrating our fire on it. Bombers, you go ahead and move in.
Systems are offline.
Enemies in range.
This is bad. Because we gotta remember, retreating is now a punishment, so I mean... This is actually really bad. We're taking out the shield generators pretty quickly. If we lose the gladiators, that's acceptable. We'll call them our skip rays. Being an attacking fleet truly sucks in this, to some degree sometimes. So many orbital defenses, you cannot spawn units super close to the station. They have all of their units on top of the space defenses. And it's basically, it kind of sometimes feels like it's basically like you just gotta sacrifice your units, man, which, you know, you want to do the best you can if you're a military officer, at least in my opinion, for your fleet. You don't want to just throw them all away, you know. But I digress. That's enough complaining. That's enough complaining. Let's switch taking out all the hangar bays.
Eliminating target.
Vader, you take your forces and go up ahead.
My engines are out.
How can we assist?
Okay, put these repair fields up. I forgot these. They even have these.
Reporting.
Take out the supply dock next. Truth be told, I never knew what the supply dock did in Empire War. Gonna assume it did something important. Not to mention, you also already lose a lot of units because of the fact, or you lose a lot of money in this mod also because of the fact that starfighters, they have a maintenance cost. Units have maintenance. There's a lot that's going on, man. I thoroughly do not think that other mechanic should be as potent as it is. There's just way too much already going on. And it gets a little overcomplicated. Some people are generally not going to be a fan of that, I think. But alright, anyway. Look at all those concussion missiles, dude. Now, granted, we are playing on a smaller GC. I feel like some of my complaints would be a little less valid on a bigger GC. You know. Yeah, the second to last of these orbital defense array structured things. I don't think they really have too many of these left.
Primary power to weapon systems.
Now, granted, I'm not going to deny the fact that, considering we're just absolutely annihilating the station because we have overwhelming force, I guess being an attacker isn't totally bad in space. Yeah, let's take out the last of these thermal lasers. There we go.
Gladiator here. What do you need?
Where's that damage victory at? There we go.
Crew, get ready. We're standing by here.
Okay, yeah, we'll just finish off the station. I don't know if the rebels have anything left after this. And then sometimes I notice some of the buildings, they don't fully collapse after their hardpoints are completely blown out. Somebody literally just commented on my videos. They don't want to watch this. They just want the public beta. I'm about to sit here and reply to this tweet, this message. Hold on.
The rebels are on the run.
Somebody told me literally, I don't want to watch these streams. I just want the public beta to come out. I'm like, I mean, hey man, look, no disrespect, but I literally have no control over that, buddy. So you just gotta watch it and have fun with it. Comments like that honestly don't really make me mad, but it's just kind of silly reading that sometimes. It's like, I mean, what the fuck you want out of me, man? This planet is not that heavily defended, honestly. We just lost all of our troops in the process of doing the bare minimum. Okay, this tier 3 shipyard's building up right now. I still don't think this fleet is even remotely close to being powerful enough to take down our forces here. Because, I mean, we've got the golden ones, which are legitimately keeping us safe here. If we didn't have the golden ones, I feel like they would have attacked us by now. We've got multiple structures building, so maybe this is why our credits are being siphoned. This plan is actually really good for financial reasons. We've got some final tanks down here. We're gonna move them up here. Looks like the Hapens have pushed the rebel forces back a bit. I don't know where the rebel fleet is, and that scares me. They've got units here. They've got this, not even a big fleet, just full of a bunch of corvettes. Did it get bigger? Oh, it did. Damn. I mean, with some proper micromanagement, taking this out wouldn't be too bad if they were to attack us. But we've got to shut Yavin down for sure. They got way too much happening here. And luckily we're on their doorstep, which is great. We can build this facility here and then queue up this to be next. Okay, so that comes after this. No. I don't think we have this structure here, do we? They got a lot of stuff there. Actually, we're gonna cancel construction on this. Once this finishes, we're gonna do some serious stuff. I just hope this rebel fleet decides to redirect its forces towards the Hapens that are really causing some issues. Oh, shit, dude, I waited too long. I should have done that. Oh, we can see the map. What the hell? All right, so they're gonna be clustered over here. And I guess if they tower defense grid place over to us, base the planet's terrain. Because I mean, I'm noticing one of the issues right now is when they have these turbo laser towers built up, you can't call in any orbital units, or you can't call in any like bombing units at all, which I don't think really makes a lot of sense. And I don't honestly think it's intentional either. We don't really have enough to take this planet. Like, we can give it a crack, but... Or we can wait for the rebels to really get here and actually really do some damage to us, but at the same time... I don't know. Okay, so yeah, this doesn't grant us access to anything big, so that's good to know. Those victory cruisers are going to be expensive in the long run. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. I don't really have a lot of faith in our ability to win this battle, but we'll see in a minute. I'm also gonna go get my laundry in a minute too. We could spawn in units over here, but I'd rather not. Not yet. Yeah, like they don't have a shield generator. Not a big fan of this. Did the game just crash? It crashed. Oh man. Alright, well, guess I'll see you in the next one.